Welcome back, Queen, to another episode of the Creatress of Freedom podcast. I am Annie and I am your host, and I am so happy and so excited that you are here tuning on in. I hope that you are having a beautiful day, a beautiful week, wherever it is that you are coming in from in the world at the moment. And I am super excited to jump into today's topic around staff. Now, this podcast episode was inspired by a conversation that I was having with a beautiful friend who actually works in a beautician salon, in a beauty salon. And she was telling me a little bit about just the circumstance and the situation that was occurring in the workplace. And she was telling me how one of the staff has said that she wants to leave. And my beautiful sister was telling me that they've had a lot of staff leave over the last uh, few years of her being there. And I was like, really? That's interesting. And I said to her, did you ask her why she wanted to leave? And she said, yeah, she did. Um, and before I get into that, I want to have open up this conversation because I feel like this is something really, really common. And I know when I first start working with salon owners, a lot of them will say to me that their staff are shit, their staff are just don't listen, they're constantly bashing their head against the brick wall, they're so unappreciative of all of the work that they put in. The business owner is often the one that ends up with not being paid because they've got to pay all the staff aren't even meeting KPIs, they're causing more headaches than it's actually worth, and they are just so unappreciative. And that's usually kind of the vibe that I get when I have salon owners start coming into my space and working with me. And I get it, right? I get it. So I never ever teach on something that I have not gone through myself. So when they're saying this to me, I'm like, I hear you, because that was me. I used to be the exact same salon owner where I would constantly put all these staff on, and then I was just so frustrated that the idea of me putting staff on was to make my life easier. And I found that it was doing the complete opposite of that. I felt like it was creating more stress, it was creating more financial strain, and it was adding more to my plate than I needed to add to my plate. And it leaves you with this like, is it even fucking worth it? It was actually easier when I went and worked on my own, before I even looked at having staff. And this can be a form of self sabotage. But also, a lot of this is because we as business owners have not learned a very vital skill, and that is knowing how to lead your team, right? There is different stages within a business that you must learn along the way. There is new skill sets, there's new mindsets that you have to learn as a business owner in order to hit new levels of milestones within the business. And if you skip at any of those stages, then you are pretty much going to go back to the basics, back to where back to your benchmark of what's safe and familiar, and that's probably going to be getting rid of all your staff and going back and working on the floor with clients, right? And so it's very rarely, I'm going to say very rarely, not all circumstances, because sometimes that's not always the case, but it's very rarely about the staff. Very rarely. It is always to do with you and your leadership as a business owner. And I know that that is not what you want to hear, because you genuinely believe that you've been doing everything that you probably could to be the best boss, right? And so I get it. That was how I felt. I felt like I was going above and beyond, and to have someone tell me, a mentor at that time, tell me that I was being a shit boss was like, ouch, it hurts. Pardon me. But if you are constantly having staff leave, it's not because they don't want to work for you, right? They do want to work for you. They don't like the environment that you've created for them. Let me repeat that. Your staff want to work for you. They don't want to work in the environment that you have created for them. whether that is the environment with the other team members, whether that is the environment of the type of clientele that you have called in. Maybe they're clients that just always want discounts, that don't appreciate the value that you guys actually bring to the table. Maybe it is you that's checked out as a boss that actually does not want to support. You just maybe have team meetings and you're constantly grilling them about everything that they're not doing, so they feel unappreciated. Everything is a direct reflection of who you're being as a leader and the environment that you've created, right? Because at the end of the day, the environment that's there, you can't blame anybody else for that environment. It's your business, isn't it? And so if it's your business, then you're responsible for the environment that is being created. Nobody else is to blame for that. If you have toxic staff members, that's because of you. If you have toxic clients, that's because of you, because you are the one in business. And, I talk about this a lot in lots of different episodes and lots of different times inside my coaching spaces as well. It's so much easier to play the victim in the story and to blame everything else around us than it is for us to take accountability and responsibility for how we are showing up and the life that we've created and the business that we've created. It's much easier to blame the staff. It's much easier to blame the clients than to say, oh, hold on, actually, what was my marketing? Did my marketing actually attract low annoying clients, low paying clients, because I put out offers that were purely based on discounts? Did I not hire the right staff because I just put on someone out of desperation without actually seeing, does this person match the business mission and values and the vision that you have for the business? Did they actually match the growth that you're going for in the business, or did you just put them on out of desperation? Right? Everything comes back to you as a business owner. And so if you have had staff leave, or you still have staff that are constantly leaving, then this is a really great time for you to look at you and take responsibility and realize that, hey, maybe I need to learn some new levels of skill set, whether that is new levels around how to actually hire properly, literally starting from the ad copy that you put out there, whether that is the onboarding process in how you actually onboard a client, a staff member, whether that is the training and the support that actually is needed for this staff member to actually flourish. Do you have the time and the capability to actually train them and give them the time that they need as well, right? Like, this is something else that I see that happens a lot is business owners put staff on while they're still working 40 hours a week on the floor with clients. You can't do that, because you need to be able to train your staff up. You need to be able to show them the protocols, show them the systems that you've got in place. And if you're working 40 hours a week on the floor with clients, you don't have any spare time. So what you end up doing is you throw this staff member on and you just hope and pray that they just magically pick up the way that you guys do things, because you've given them half an hour on a rundown on how to do something. They've maybe watched you shadow you for half a day, and then all of a sudden you expect them to just know. You should allow yourself a good 3 to 6 months of nurturing this staff member. And if you do not have the time to be able to do that, and I've mentioned this in previous episodes, then you should not hire staff. You literally should not hire staff, because it's a disservice to your staff. It's not fair to your staff, and it's not fair to you either. So having the systems is really, really important to support you as you step into this next level of leadership, right? As you step into this next level of growth within the business. So if you are someone that is constantly having staff leave, this is a great opportunity for you to look at what systems do you have in place? What environment are you actually creating? Do your current staff actually match the vision and the mission that you have moving forward? And if they don't, then you may need to have some hard conversations about letting go of some staff, because if you are deliberately keeping staff on for the sake of, oh, but I don't want the income to drop, and you know that these staff members are not the right fit, then you are blocking your magnetism. You're blocking yourself from being in the vortex. You're blocking the opportunity of new people coming into your space, because you have this vortex around you that's stopping you from being open, right? So really assessing like where you're at. What do you need to let go of in order to call in the right aligned staff? What do you need to do as a business owner in order to support these staff? This is the biggest transition that I see all of my salon owner clients go through, is this transition from no longer being an employer to actually being a leader and a visionary. They really start to step off the salon floor and they start to step more into that leadership role, and they zoom out and they look at everything as a whole, and they have the time now, because they're no longer working on clients, they have the time to really go through the data and to really give the right support and to give the right training for each individual staff, and they learn and they study about their staff so that they can deliver the information so that it lands for them, right? Because this is another level of leadership, is that you often can sit in a team meeting and you can tell every single team, every single staff member, and only maybe two of them start implementing the new policy framework that you're trying to implement. And then you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm literally bashing my head against a brick wall so many times. Why does this keep happening? Like, how come Joe and Susie are able to pick it up and the rest of the team can't? Because each of your staff learn differently, right? And so it's your job as a leader to learn about your staff. Some are going to be visual, some are going to be audio, some are going to be hands on. And it's up to you to learn and understand how each of them learn so that you can then deliver the information right. So, yes, you might sit down and you might talk about it, but then you might go, okay, so now let's implement it. And then those other people that are more hands on people, they're going to get it now, but you've just chosen to do one type of leadership, which might not fit your entire team. And especially if you have a team of more than five, right? Because there's lots of different personalities and there's lots of different learning styles that you have to learn about each staff member so you can tap into their strengths. That's your job as a leader, is to learn where your weaknesses are and your strengths are within your team and work with that, rather than just getting frustrated and annoyed at your staff and you're like, why are they not listening? Why are they not doing the things that I tell them to do? Like, they whinge to me that they want to meet KPI, that they want to be paid bonuses, but they're not meeting KPIs, but then you're not implementing anything to help them meet KPIs, right? It's just this like vicious circle where everyone wants to play the fucking victim in the story. We don't subscribe to that in my world at all. It's so beautiful to witness my clients step into this new level of leadership, like to see them go from being so scared to have a team meeting or an individual one-on-one meeting for a performance review to like jumping into my voice messages and being like, oh my God, we just had the best one-on-ones today. It was so good. Like, I really got into this and this, and like I really supported this one, and she was so appreciative of this. And oh, like I really noticed, like, since our last one-on-one, like that was our focus last month, and then this month I really noticed a change. And so I really like encouraged her and showed her that I've really seen these changes. And it's so beautiful to witness this like scared, I don't want to be the bitch, I don't want to be this nasty person, to like them stepping fully into this next level of leadership. It's so beautiful to witness. And these are the ones that are having huge growth within their business because they're starting to learn this next level of growth within the business. And it comes back to you. So if your staff are bringing you things or bringing you ideas and you are choosing to not listen to it and you're ignoring it, then this also reflects on you and your leadership, right? If you have staff that come to you and they're like, hey, I've got this idea for an improvement, or hey, I've got this, or this is something that's really irritating me within the staff and within the team at the moment. If you have your staff coming to you and they're sharing those vulnerable things with you, it is up to you as a owner to do something with that, to not ignore it, right? The core need for every single human being is to be heard, to be seen. And so if your staff are bringing different challenges or different things that they are navigating within their day-to-day life at work, and you're choosing to ignore it, or you're choosing to not do anything with that information that they're giving you, then naturally they're going to leave. I mean, I would. If I was in a workplace in an environment where I felt like my voice didn't matter and you just seen me as a number that brought money in for your business, I wouldn't want to stay there. Would you? Would you want to stay in a business like that? I know I wouldn't. I want to be in a business that appreciates me. I want to be in a business that allows me to have my voice heard. Just because I'm not the business owner doesn't mean that I don't have great ideas. Just because I don't have great ideas doesn't mean that you don't have to implement them either, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, you are the business owner and you get to decide. But it is about having that communication. And so, I'm sharing this with you because this was a real life scenario where a staff member had mentioned to the manager that she didn't like the way that a certain situation was going about with a team member. She felt like she was the one that had to do all the cleaning. This other person was not really picking it up. And the manager had also noticed this as well. And she went to the business owner and explained this to the business owner. And the business owner did nothing with it. And so this particular staff member felt like, what's the point? Like, I just said that I feel like I'm not being appreciated here. I feel like, other team members are not pulling their weight, which is unfair as a team. And then you choose to do nothing about that. Shame on you. Shame on you. As a business owner, shame on you. Because you should want your staff, if they have the courage to bring that to you, that takes a lot of courage to actually speak up to your boss and say, hey, like, this is something that feels uneasy for me right now. There is no way in my apprenticeship I would have done that because I was so intimidated by my boss. There is no way I would have had the guts, the courage to let him know that there was something that was bothering me. And so if you do have staff that are coming to you and sharing with you things that maybe feel a little bit unfair, or, they're expressing their feelings, then you should be really proud that you've created an environment where they can bring that to you, where they don't feel intimidated by you. But then if you choose to do nothing with that, that's really mean. That's so mean. And I would 100% want to leave as well. So please take all of this on board. When it comes to leading a team, it's not easy. I know it's not easy. It's going to be the hardest part of you growing your business is leading a team. And if you're still stuck in survival mode and you're still trying to like hustle with clients and you're still trying to make ends meet and you're still trying to lead a team, yeah, you're going to be fucking exhausted. So I highly recommend that you get yourself into spaces where you can be supported, where you can be told where the gaps are, where you need help, so that you don't have to keep playing out this same cycle again. Let's not play the victim in the story, right? You can change this. You're in control of how your business operates. You're in control of how exhausted you are. You're in control of allowing yourself to get support. And so if you are a salon owner and you do desire to stop playing the victim and you're ready to step into that next level, then here's your invitation to come and join us inside FSM, because FSM is literally that space for you, where not only do you get live coaching for me to help you navigate whatever it is that you're going through, but you also get an entire library of over 100 policies and procedures and protocols and strategies and frameworks that you literally can plug and play. So if you don't know how to interview properly, if you don't know how to write up a proper job ad, if you don't know how to onboard your staff, if you don't know how to performance review your staff, if you don't know how to support and lead your team, if you don't know how to fire someone, if you don't know how to put someone on as a rent-a-chair, like whatever it is, if you don't have those tools and those strategies and those protocols in place, you have access to all of that inside FSM. There is so many salons out there, so many salons. So for one moment, do not think that your staff are worried that they will not be able to find another job. They know they will, which is why they have no hesitation in packing up and leaving your ass if you are not being nice to them, if you're not creating a great environment, if you're not appreciating them. They will have no issues in saying, I'm leaving. And I guarantee that you'll then play the victim and be like, oh, I've done everything that I possibly could. And this is now they leave me. Now I'm in the lurch. And now what am I going to do? And no, you created that scenario for yourself because you chose not to learn how to lead. And I don't blame them because, like I said, I would not want to work in an environment like that. Think about why you went out on your own. right? This is a perfect example because most of us as business owners go out on our own because of something that happened when we're a team member. We didn't like the way that the team dynamics was run. We didn't like the way that the boss ran things, right? We didn't like different scenarios and we were like, fuck that. I'm going to create my own rules, right? So think about your staff. Like they're exactly the same. They're like, well, I know there's plenty of other salons around where I could go and find another job. They don't have any loyalty to you. They don't need to have any loyalty to you, especially if that's the type of leader that you've been. Because I can guarantee, and I see this happen, the minute that you start to shift your leadership, your staff will become the most loyalist person ever. And a classic example of that is one of my clients had a staff member who said that she wanted to go off to New Zealand and be away for like 3 months. And she was like, but like, I would love to have my job back when I come back. And my client was like, yeah, sure, no worries. Go off, do your thing that you need to do. And when you come back, you'll have a job here. Now, if she did not hold a great team environment or a great environment for that staff member would have used as an opportunity to leave and go and find work elsewhere when she got back from New Zealand, right? Because the difference is that the loyalty was created because of the way that she shows up as a leader. That's the kind of staff that we want, right? And all of your staff are that type of staff if you have staff. But if you're choosing to not be the leader that they need, well, then naturally, they're not going to want to stay. They're not going to be loyal to you because they just feel like they're a number. They don't feel appreciated by what they bring to the table. And it's up to you to make sure that they do feel appreciated. So, like I said, if this is like your next level and you're like, fuck, and he's hit me with some hard truths today. And yeah, like I really do need some support in leading a team. Or maybe you've had a team in the past and you've lost all your staff and you're like, fuck it, I'm not doing that again. I've been there, done that too. It doesn't have to be that way. You just need to learn a new level of skill set, a new level of mindset as well. And once you learn that and you accumulate those new skills, I guarantee you'll have an incredible team that will be the biggest asset that you could ever imagine. You'll have a team that will allow you to be able to take time off, to be able to go on those holidays, to be not working those crazy hours at Christmas time, because you'll have the most valuable asset within your team. I've seen it. I help women create it. I know that it's possible for you too. I can dangle the carrot in front of you and tell you everything that you need in order to have this reality, this dream become your reality. But ultimately, you have to take the next step. You have to decide that you want this to change. And that's going to change when you start to choose to learn a different skill set, to learn what you don't already know. And that's going to mean getting into mentorship. Could you learn it reading books? Yeah, you could. It's going to take you a long time. Why put yourself through all of that when you could literally come into a space and have quantum leaps within seconds? And you could have a 2-minute conversation with me that would completely change the trajectory of your business. I feel like that's like my tagline. Because literally that's what I know happens is when we have conversations like this, I will pull you out of your victim mentality and I will help you step into your highest timeline because I see your potential. I know what you're capable of. I see your power. And I'm here to help you remember that. So if you want to remember that, here's your invitation as a salon owner to come and join us inside FSM. You'll find all of the deets in the show notes below. If you are interested in private mentorship, I take very limited spaces. So depending on when you're listening to this, I do have the doors open right now for private mentorship. But as soon as I have those few spaces filled, then private mentorship closes for probably at least 6 to 8 months before I reopen it back up. I only take on a certain amount of clients at a certain period of time. So if you are interested in coming into private mentorship, you'll see the application in the show notes. So go and apply. And if you're not really sure what space you want to be in, then come and send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook, and I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you. And we can go from there and figure out what it looks like. If you need any support within your business. If you are not in business and you still chose to listen to this episode today, in the show notes, you will also find different programs, different containers for you that is not necessarily for someone that's in business. So go and have a look at the Energy and Healing Temple, and you'll find some really, really beautiful services there that will be super supportive for you as well. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for tuning in today. And if you stayed till the end, then like kudos to you because today was a little bit of tough love, right? So kudos to you for choosing to allow yourself to be expanded and for choosing to not play the victim in the story as well. I celebrate you. I see you. I know that it's not always easy, but we are here to make an impact and we're here to change the way that we do business and the way that we show up. So thank you for being here. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.